26th July 2014. That was the first time that we made contact with the doctor, and some strange things have been going on with us ever since. So we decided to do some of our own research on the doctor, and this is what we have to show for it. We came across this legend of sorts that there have been a group of persons who have called themselves the Doctor over time.
We don't know Doctor Who exactly is it, but he has used the name John Smith from time to time as our researcher.
He's also been spotted with many public figures. I mean, here's a photograph of... Yeah, and you can see one of the doctors in the background. And here's a famous photograph of Winston Churchill, but a few know that you can see an object in the background,
That's actually the TARDIS, which is a blue police box used by the Doctor.
Which we're supposed to find. So, the Doctor has been seen throughout time with different faces, but it also happens that you've seen the same face in two different times as well. To explain that, I'll just show you these two photographs. Here's a photograph of one of the Doctors, which was snapped in 2005.
He's with Rose Tyler there.
And here's another photograph, which was snapped in 1945. And as you can see, it's the same face. It hasn't aged at all. So the only theory I could really think of is time travel on this one.
Which is a little far-fetched, but then that's the one
only one that explains, yeah. So, talking about his friends, you might have heard of a famous writer in the 1900s. Her name was Amy Williams. She's got a couple of books out. So, now this is a photograph of her snapped in, I think, 1920.
Around.
Yeah. And there's another photograph of her in 2013 where she looks almost the same, sitting with the Doctor.
And it's in New York.
Yeah, both the photographs were taken in New York. So, again, I just come back to my time travel theory. In fact, the article about Amy Williams was submitted by Sarah Jane Smith.
We have a photograph over here. It's from the 1970s.
And she actually happens to be one of the friends of the Doctor's as well. So, this is all we have on the Doctor so far, and he seems to have influenced us for a long time. In fact, Queen Nefertiti supposedly gave an account of the Doctor before she mysteriously disappeared.
He's actually been here for quite some time.
Yeah. And while researching the Doctor, we actually came across a photograph of Malone, who we were researching before. This photograph was taken in New York in 1938, I think.
Yeah, and actually the description and everything fits quite well with the story that is in the book.
Malone.
It's actually
the same character almost. I mean, it could be that the book is based on this character, but we actually came across Malone quite recently, and she looks exactly the same. So she hasn't aged as well, or maybe it's this time travel thing again. So one thing that we do know from experience is that strange things have followed the Doctor. You know, we have been affected by all this, and in fact, here's a photograph not far away from where we live. This was again taken in the 1950s, and in this photograph, there's a strange statue which actually isn't there in reality, and it actually stands out from the other statues as well because it's got wings, basically, like an angel statue. Just like
it's the same statue that is mentioned in the book. It's sort of the same thing.
Another thing is that in one of the photographs you can see the Doctor holding what appears to be the sonic device, which we actually have with us right now.
Yeah. And that's our only line of defense for the moment, but it actually makes sense now that it all belongs to the Doctor, and we think that the paper
psychic paper as well. In fact, the message that you saw in the last log has disappeared. It was actually fading out while we were recording it as well. And I mean, we first made contact on 26th July, but we may actually have been connected to this from way before.
Because I have this painting since childhood, and I thought this to be an artistic thing. It's a copy of Van Gogh, but now it makes sense that it
looks a lot like the TARDIS. And we actually saw this painting when we went to Mr. Kashyap's house again, the old house, where we somehow ended up in your old room. So this is all the research we have on the Doctor so far, and I'm just going to put everything up on the website as well. But we had a lot of help from different online forums while researching him, and I'd just like to appeal that if you guys if you have any information on the Doctor or anything regarding the Doctor, you can let us know by visiting our website, viewing our information, and just commenting in general.